at the Dubai trade port is what portion of this is in the hands of black people? How much of this do they own? Because you see, if we make the mistake of building Bridge City for the people of Kwamash and Duzu, and they don't own a piece of it, all the shops and economic activity that takes place there belongs to people from outside those areas. We are not doing anything to change the ownership patterns of our economy. We're actually reinforcing the exclusion of the excluded. And these are the issues that must be topmost in the minds of our public servants, of the developers of these projects, of the private sector, of government as a whole. So that those people don't feel alienated from the projects which are meant to develop them. And their job is to bring their incomes to the Bridge City for those incomes to be taken away from them. The issue for us should be, how do we ensure, not only through productive economic investments, but also through creating access to and proximity to government services, that we encourage the incomes of the peoples of those areas to circulate in those areas and in the process to create the wealth. Unless we answer those questions and create that capacity for these areas to develop in this way, the inclusive growth narrative will again elude the majority of the people. Because we must not think of the people of those areas as, when we talk of them and talk of inclusive growth in relation to them, we think only of employment. We do this for you to be employed. We do this to address inequality and poverty here by getting you only as employees. We must do these projects and invest in these projects and attract investments in these projects in order for those people to equally become entrepreneurs, to unleash their enterprising spirit. You will be surprised at just at what we can achieve and how much they are hungry for such opportunities. And so, as we embark on this talk and showcase all of these projects, and they are magnificent projects. I was telling my team at Treasury the other day that when I was growing up living in Durban, Reunion is a very famous station for a number of reasons. And that area around Bridge City too. And I was saying to them, it's amazing what has been achieved by just developing, by these developments, and how much can still be achieved. But we need to do this all over the country, and we need to answer these ownership questions. And how do we create opportunities for people back Zinyati and nearby areas who may have small pieces of land to plant something there, to have a market for their fresh produce. And so we need to think outside the box, because the inclusive growth story must not become an elitist project. It must become a program that every South African will feel a part of. That when they view it, they must realize realize that even I can participate in this, can benefit in it, and I too have a chance, a fighting chance at economic participation. So I welcome these tours, I welcome these initiatives. I hope you, the investors in particular, will enjoy and will identify even greater opportunities for them to invest and partner with local people and help us to unleash the economic potential, not only of the city, because we mustn't treat the city as a homogeneous space. Cannot be. Because if we do, we will end up reinforcing the power relations as they exist. We need to think of the city, yes, as a united space, but also think of it in terms of who are the people who need the most intervention, how do we intervene there, how do we create potential, how do we get them involved in economic activity, how do we ensure that they also own a part of eThekwini, the city. Not as observers or just only employees, but as owners. Thank you.